What's up, everyone? Dole's Adventures here. Me and the kids are going to Claw Mania Kingdom in Houston, Texas. Near the same one with the Claw arcade with the tufting one. And like I said, this is my honest take, my honest review about the entire
the new
arcade.
one's closed.
Now, with that
It's
being
only open
said,
on the
I
weekends,
did
I
have to mute the entire claw machine because they play
As it
a
is.
lot of copyrighted
Don't do it
music.
with that right here.
So that's why I
This
muted
one.
the other videos because
Right here, Odin.
for copyright reasons.
Yeah,
And I
this
did
one,
go
right
to this claw machine quite a bit of times. Like I said, I'm gonna give my honest take on the whole thing from back then and now. So when they first opened, like I said, everybody was friendly. Everybody, like I said, they're trying to get customers and so on and so forth. But I do feel like it's changed just quite a bit. I feel like when we went there, the person wasn't that personable that was working. And again, I'm not trying to knock on anybody's business or anything like that. Like I said, it's a claw machine place, so you get your coins, you can leave them alone, unless you got to do the trade-in and stuff like that. So, but with that being said, though, aside from inquiring about some of the toys and stuff like that, the person did help me out, and they did what they're supposed to do. It's just kind of like somebody working at a place, but then they're kind of like a little bit tired of working at that place. So I maybe it was an off day. I'm not too sure. But with that being said, though, so my biggest thing about these claw machines is, we all know that a lot of the stuff is not authentic, right? So I do honestly believe in winnability. So if it was authentic stuff, like, for example, round one has authentic stuff, I would expect the games to be a little bit harder. But if you don't have authentic stuff, I expect the games to be a little bit easier. And then, like I said, that's how I feel about these places. So like I said, I'm going to keep this one short. The Claw Mania Kingdom 1 is definitely not bad of a place. Claws are pretty strong. Like I said, it's very, very kid-friendly. Whenever my kids need something, they would, give out the bag, whatever, for them to get. Crowded, as far as I know, weekdays are not crowded, but weekends are definitely crowded. So I kind of rarely venture on the weekend, but I might do so for like another video another time. So overall, I do think Claw Mania Kingdom 1 is definitely winnable, and it's worth the money. So I had about 16 coins because my kids wasted some plays by pushing the button too fast. And I came out with 8 plushes, so that's about 1-to-2 ratio, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. But let's go ahead and go to the next Claw Mania. Before I go there, like I said, all these places have trade-up prizes. So usually
Those are other toys.
One, and then we trade the rest in.
For
And you can keep the coins for the next time that you go, which is actually pretty nice. All right, y'all. So we're headed to Claw Mania Kingdom 2, and I based the reviews and like I said, the overall fun factor based on how many times the kids win, whether it's easy to win, and things like that, right? So it's always like, is it crowded, and overall fun factor. And for me, at least in my personal experience, again, I don't want to give any business some flack or anything like that, but in my experience, Claw Mania Kingdom 2 was not as fun as Claw Mania Kingdom 1. Claw Mania Kingdom 1, you definitely had an easier time winning. Number 2, the claws, I feel like, are not calibrated correctly. So a lot of times, the claw would barely pick up the plush or not even pick it up at all. So, of course, my kids, they got bored with it. They're like, stop picking it up and things like that. So, it is a newer area. Like I said, it's their new place. So I think they're still trying to get everything worked out and everything situated. So we'll revisit maybe a year down and see how it goes. But aside from all, like the complaints about the claw machine themselves, they did have a key master, but for some Pokemon packs, and it was like a coin to play. Every coin is about $1. So if you buy $20 worth, you get 23 coins. So you get 3 coins free. So a lot of times I'll give my kids some coins. I'll let them run around and then, play some claw machines. And then we'll try to win some plushies and stuff like that. The ratio here, personally for me, was pretty bad. Again, to me, it's a hit or miss, right? So if you go on certain days, like the weekends, the workers will put the plushes and they'll keep continuing, putting plushes in there. When it's slow, if it's not set up correctly, then you're not going to expect to win much. So like I said, I'm always down to give it another shot. in the future, but the day that we went today wasn't as fire as the first one. So I literally went to Claw Mania 1 and then went to Claw Mania 2 right after. And, you know, Claw Mania 1 is a clear winner between both of them. So you see, just like I said before, like some of the plushes didn't even move or get picked up at all, which is pretty wild. But again, it's all good. And so let's go ahead and get to the ratings. Personally, crowdedness, was it crowded? It was definitely not crowded at all. And the nice thing about these places is that it's always kid friendly for the most part. The workers are really nice. So kid friendly, definitely 10 out of 10. So overall, I would give the claw machines a 7 out of 10. Overall, the claw machines weren't fun to the kids, but kids in general love the arcades. Again, if you guys like this review and if it helped out, like I said, like, subscribe, comment. It does help me out. And I will see you guys on the next video. I think it's going to be Camden Park.